Assalamu alaikum, sister. My name is Fanaza, and I'm really happy to see you here today. I wanted to ask about, you talk about detachment from this life, and I wanted to understand the detachment with love. For example, we have love in our hearts for maybe our parents, or our husband, or our children, which we love very much, and sometimes it's very difficult to even think about, for example, the thought of losing the child or the thought of losing the parents is too much. But how do you reconcile that detachment with the love? Go ahead.
So this is a very difficult question. And it's I talked a little bit about it yesterday in the conference. And the idea here is sometimes when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us gifts, we become so attached to the gift more than the giver. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us spouses and children and money, we sometimes love those things as we should only love Allah. And the way that we know that we are too attached to those things is actually one of the ways to know it is the amount of fear that we feel at the thought, just the thought of losing it. We are so consumed with fear at losing it. That is an indication that we have an improper attachment to it. And there is a difference between loving in the proper way and attachments. When I say attachments, I'm talking about this absolute dependency or taking something and putting it in a place that only Allah should be, where I cannot live without it. We have to be very careful that the only thing that I cannot live without is Allah. Other than that, we love to have His gifts. We love our children. We love our spouses. We love our money and our fancy car and our big home. We love these things. We love gifts. But these things have to be in the hand and not in the heart. That means if those things are taken away, we will be sad, yes. But this does not completely destroy us. It's only when an object of attachment is taken away that we are destroyed. Then the question is, well, how do you fix that, right? Or how would you, if that is the case, how do you change that? Really what we have to do is first realize that everything is temporary except Allah. And when we become, it's kind of like, imagine you're climbing a cliff, okay? And you need to hold on to something. And if you're climbing a cliff and you hold on to something very weak, like a twig, what's going to happen is the twig is going to break, naturally. But if you hold on to something firm, then you won't fall. Our problem is that we hold on to things other than Allah to support us, to hold us up. And those things break because they're not meant to hold us up. That's not what they were created to do. Only Allah can hold us. So it's only the handhold of Allah that's going to keep us firm. Everything else, if you try to hold on to it with all your weight, it will break. And this is the reason you fall and you break and you become disappointed again and again. You're holding on to the wrong things. So what we need to do is hold on to Allah, fill our hearts with Allah, and then everything else that we love becomes for His sake. That's completely different than loving for the sake of that thing itself. When I love for the sake of Allah, it's kind of conceptually, you think about a cup. A cup can only hold so much liquid, right? If you fill that cup with Allah, if you fill that cup with Allah practically through remembering Him a lot. By the way, in the Qur'an, when the commandment's given to remember Allah, it doesn't just say remember Allah, it comes with the adjective or adverb a lot, kathiran, a lot. So the remembrance needs to be a lot. The more you do that, your heart becomes full. Now your heart is full of Allah. Everything else that you love is through Allah. Meaning that it's for His sake. It means that He is your base, and everything else is you love them, but you're not dependent on them. I hope that explains the difference, inshallah.